Say again. All right, you think we're live and audio working? Check one. Still working on getting the audio working here. We can broadcast the game. Right. So it looks like we at least have some bars going up, but we're still trying to make sure we have the audio working here and get both microphones working. Got about 11 minutes left of warm-up. Travis is frantically trying to get things to work and trying to get things to come through on the audio. But we're seeing if the microphones are recording or not. We're not having a lot of luck right now. We're gonna keep trying. See if we can get some. If you're hearing the band in the background, band sounds great tonight. We got a great turnout for the band. And we're getting ready for some action. Just over 10 minutes left to warm up. Both teams trying to get their sweat working up, get their muscles warmed up and ready to go for the game. Good conference matchup we have tonight. Thunder Ridge Titans versus the Highland Rams. Highland comes into the game 1-3 in conference, and Thunder Ridge comes in 2-2. Two losses, both come in against Madison for Thunder Ridge. They beat Highland the first time they played and beat Rigby. Highland split with Rigby and lost to us and lost to Madison. So 1-3 coming in. A lot riding on this game in terms of postseason potential games and placing in the district tournament. So should be a pretty good matchup here tonight between these two teams. Pretty evenly matched. Both teams been playing some pretty good basketball lately.
All right, boss, I am going to jump back on.
Good, sounding loud and clear to me.
Well, okay, well, we are on. It's beta tested on the old cell phone. We're up and running.
Very good, very good.
Okay, welcome. If we haven't done the welcome yet, and if you haven't heard it, welcome.
I've just been yammering a little bit. Well, see if this audio is working, so.
Well, we can confirm the audio is now working. So let's run through our very short and abbreviated pregame. We already got through our welcomes and our introductions and why we're here, but let's talk to our friends from Highland visiting here. I heard you talking about the matchup earlier in the season and Highland's overall record. Highland sitting right now at an 8-11 record of a 1-3 conference record. They did take down Rigby earlier in the season, which gives them that lone conference win.
A lot riding on the game tonight, Travis, as far as district seeding for the district playoffs. It started a week from yesterday. Right.
So that's kind of what I want to draw ourselves into is this, we're in the heart and soul of conference play. Rigby and Madison are playing tonight. We are playing hosting Highland, obviously. Winner of this game. If Thunder were to win this game, it solidifies more or less that second seed going to conference play. Now that's an important seed. It's going to host on the Tuesday.
It's big to have that home game. You feel like at least you get your home crowd, your student section behind you. The excitement of district tournament is it ramps up a little bit from the regular season. So it's a huge home game. And it's great, and that's why this game matters something. A lot of people say it doesn't matter. The regular season doesn't matter. It all depends on who comes out of the district tournament. To some degree, that's absolutely true. But when you start talking about home court advantage, you start talking about student sections and having fun, and it does make a difference.
Certainly makes a difference. Highland is sitting at 1-3 right now. With a win, would move to 2-3. And it certainly complicate things where, the expectation, Madison's a good ball club. I mean, I think the paper will tell you that Madison should win that game tonight. Puts them at a cool 5-0 on the so that would put 2-3 teams at 2-3, would it not? Is that my math
so.
right?
No, Rigby would be 1-4 if I'm not mistaken if they lose tonight against Madison. So. But yeah, this would not us. Highland and Thunder Ridge would be knotted at 2-3.
That comes down to that final weekend, the final night, Thursday night, with Highland hosting Madison for their senior night, while Thunder would travel to Rigby for their senior night. Make that Rigby Thunder game awfully important. So a win for Thunder Ridge is critical tonight to solidify that second seed, host the first week. Likely play Rigby if things were to work out on paper now, and set up a back-to-back outing for Old Thunder Ridge.
If my math's right, that put us 2 games up on both Rigby and Highland, assuming Rigby loses tonight to Madison. So that last game would not mean anything in particular, but you sure don't want to lose to a team the contest before you play that same team again to open up district. So every win's important this time of year.
Couldn't agree more. Let's talk about the Highland Rams, visiting Highland Rams. Starting coached by Matt Stuckey in his second year. Matt Stuckey, a Century High School legend. I can speak to that. His game ball and record score in Century High School still sits in the trophy case. Matt went on to play at Idaho State, at a standout career, played some European professional ball, I believe, and is back coaching the Rams.
Now, you spent a little time down there at Century, if I'm not mistaken, as a stellar football coach.
I wouldn't say that.
Bringing some pride, Diamondback pride there, and certainly don't hold that against you. We are where we come from. So Century is a good school. In fact, I'll just mention Century a little bit here. Down in Pocatello, they have been allowing Highland to play their games at Century High School, which is great. Just a great, I don't know, it shows a lot of character, a lot of class to allow a visiting school, probably a rival in a lot of ways, to come in and use your facility because of the fire. So it looks pretty cool.
I'm only laughing because he's talking about rivalry. There's an assumed rivalry. I can assure you it's there. It is there. Matt Stuckey's assistant coaches Nick Hansen, Tyler McKee, varsity assistants, and Kobe Lusk rounding out the varsity assistant coaching staff. Highland Rams are going to have a starting lineup tonight. We got told how to pronounce.
You say this, Dave. I'll take the rest of it if you need me to.
They call him Doozy, so we're going to stick with Doozy.
I like it.
Luka Doozy, Traore. I'm going to make some assumptions here, but we're told to call him Doozy. So Doozy,
I like it.
Junior starter. Marshall Glenn starting tonight, the sophomore, number 2. Rich Barella, the senior leader. We'll come back and talk about Ridge in a second. Colton Durham, 3-sport star, and Owen Wild rounding out the lineup, senior Owen Wild.
We're running 3 seniors out there with a sophomore and a junior, so they're going to be set up for a little while, and they have some good senior leadership right now, which is bodes well for Highland.
So some things Highland has shown throughout the season that we've been able to observe at least. They are a gritty, quick team. They're long with range. Ridge Barella seems to be, as he walks across the table in front of us right now, you know, Ridge Barella, I got to tell you, having coached against this kid a couple years, and now sit from the sidelines in the football field or watch him from the table at the basketball floor. Not the guy that shocked you coming off the bus. He's not the typical airport player, but this kid is scary. This guy's
quick.
Got range. Oh, he is so fast.
And with range, that's a great combination for maybe like you said, a little undersized when you look at him, but that speed and range, hard to coach against those things, and hard to coach those things. So
I'll give some credit. It's not just speed and range. He's tough. He's tough as nails, this kid, and I've seen him take hits on the football field, but he had no business getting off the turf, but he pops right back up, and you just can't break this kid. So I got a lot of respect for him. I probably thought the left hand a compliment in terms of leading into the actual compliment. But he's a tough kid, and I think it's going to come back to one of the keys of the game we talked about in our pregame before the show. That Rich Barrell is going to be a kid Coach Tolson and the Titans are going to have to be aware of.
Absolutely. It'd be interesting to see what Coach's plan is tonight to defend him and to keep him in check a little bit. So I'm looking forward to that matchup. See how we defend, whether we try to kind of contain him with his own or put one of our tall, long kids with him, or kind of a short, quick kid. A lot of options there for the Titans.
Man, speaking of the Titans, they do have options. They're a long-range ball club as well. They've shown some grit so far. They've dropped a couple games, but on the season so far, 11-8, 2-2 in conference. We talked about these guys in our girls broadcast last week. We were talking about Madison being long and rangy and good shooters inside and outside. You maybe came back with a quick reply, as you usually do there, boss. You just described our Titans.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, pretty long. Why don't we touch on their starting lineup tonight for the Titans? We got Max Haycock starting tonight, Deegan Branson, Camden Bateman, Hudson Harker, and Mason Hackbarth are the two seniors that round out the starting lineup here on senior night. And like you said, long, a little rangy, and quick off the floor. I think that's something that is one of our talents and abilities, is we get up off the floor quick and respond and react real quick. Officials coming over saying hi. We're looking forward to their good work tonight, supporting them.
Kobe Hill, Michael Elkins, Lane Walker on the call tonight. We got a great crew, great game. Back to our Titans. We want to talk about some of the things we've been seeing from our group over the season. The one thing I'm liking, Mr. McLaren, about these guys is I really like our depth. Our talent off the bench has so far been a big benefit to us. We haven't had to rely on just 2 or 3 stars. I think we've got a lot of guys that are just pretty doggone good ball players.
And you weren't here when we first opened the building. We had, we had some talented players for sure, but there were nights where we 5 in and 5 out, and so 10, 11 kids deep was kind of the norm, is what Coach Tolson did that opening year. And I see a lot of the same things. We have 10, 11 players getting significant time, and there's not a drop off. They come in and they do their role, and everyone is happy and generous about their time.
That's a good group of boys. We get to see them around campus, so we've decided for those out there listening to us, and we do have a handful of viewers so far. I got a smaller box this week, but I can see it. We've got a handful of viewers already. We get to see these guys every day. We get to see coaches every day. We're fortunate, but it's kind of like looking yourself in the mirror. You see them every day, so you don't see when you lose a couple pounds. You don't see when you put on 10 pounds of muscle.
Right.
It's just the same kids every day. But I got to tell you, these guys are good kids. They've been taught well. We got a good group of parents.
Absolutely.
It's fun to look over the other side of the stadium and the gym tonight and see a big student section. We'll come back and talk about the benefit night tonight, but we've got several announcements coming. It's going to get loud in here. We're going to take a moment of silence, and we'll talk about here in a second. For those joining us, we're going to enjoy this moment of silence celebrating the life of Chris Paz.
Then go right into the national anthem.
Thank you. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, we ask that you please remain standing, remove your hats, and direct your attention towards the American flag as we honor this great nation with the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner by the Thunder Ridge High School Pep Band. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Thank you for the Ridge High School Pep Band. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's competition is being conducted according to the rules of the Idaho High School Activities Association. We ask that you please now turn your attention to the Idaho Central Credit Union Titantron.
Well, boss, we are back on air, so let's jump back and we can talk a little bit over our sportsmanship announcement.
hopefully you at home are exhibiting great sportsmanship. Maybe have some people here listening in too. You never know.
You just
That's
never
what my
know.
dad used to do. He'd go to BYU games and you have an earbud in and listen to the game while he watched the game. So I think there's some of that generation that I hope they're all over it.
Well, I sported one of those Sony over-the-ears.
Oh, yeah.
You remember those with the portable antenna? Yeah, I had one of those.
How are you?
Great. How about you?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to our student council creating this video for us. It's been played at every game. It's been a really nice deal showing them the Idaho Central Credit Union Titantron. We'll give lots of shout outs to Idaho Central Credit Union, the awesome gift that whole package has been. Oh, Mr. McLaren,
Yeah.
he gets a rousing round of applause every time.
It seems to surprise him. A little cameo appearance on the video. So, like you said, student council developed that video, and it's so much better than just listening to the same announcement over and over again. It was cool to see them bring that together. So a lot of fun.
You just can't count out the creativity of these kids at all.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I get from going to work every day. These guys are so doggone creative.
Oh,
They're just smart kids.
Speaking of creative, we have our student section. They're doing the old turn the back to the introductions. But I see some girls up front sneaking a peek at the starting lineup for Highland. Maybe they're looking for a date for Sweethearts. I'm not sure, but we'll see how it all plays out, I suppose.
Well, I signed enough for those waiver to go to other people's dances today that we would make them out now, these guys.
Well, and if you missed the very start of it, we did have a couple Sweetheart date proposals for some of our players, and so we had. And I assume the boys accepted the date. It's a girls' choice dance, and so we had some of that going on as we started. So good for those girls and good for our boys. Tell me about the Junior Future Titans, how we get that. Where does that idea come from? You're part of that, I believe.
Well, I signed off on it.
Okay.
That's about the extent of it. But this is a creation from Coach Colson and his booster team. They got the idea that they hold a Junior Titan camp, and they have a couple of the kids that gets picked out by our own players, and they choose them throughout the course of the season. They get to be sitting on the bench and be a part of the pregame.
That's cool.
Get called out, and it's just the idea. We want to build our culture from the ground up, and we want to have Titans from kindergarten through 12th grade.
That's cool. That's a cool idea, and it's cool for their parents too. It gets parents involved, and so it's a lot of fun for those kids. They kind of wander around like they don't know where to go, but there's some people that are going to help them direct them, and they seem super excited to be out there, center of attention.
Well, a couple of things I want to point out. If you can hear in the background, we do have a new voice over our public announcement system. Mr. Bueller had to take a work sabbatical up in Seattle. He had to go up there for a convention.
Doing some training on math.
Doing some math training, so we had to work down the roster, but ended up bringing in Matt Harris, who is Ryrie's athletic director.
Yeah. Matty Ice.
Matty Ice is one of his names. I got to tell you, if you might recognize the voice in the background, if you listen to Z103 at all, this is the Matty Merrill.
Is it really?
This is Matty Merrill.
Okay.
One of the Z103 DJs.
He's got a voice for it, I tell you that, and we appreciate him stepping in. And if I'm not mistaken, we had, he was kind of in the hole. We had a second PA announcer that ended up getting some laryngitis and getting not able to do it. So we, and I tell you what, we couldn't ask for a better PA announcer. He's got a great voice and great energy he brings to Thunderdome.
The energy's palpable, boss. I got to tell you, it was this way last week. And this new music that Matty Merrill's bringing to us got me moving in my boots a little bit.
We both.
I got to tell you, this is fun. All right, Mason Hackbarth got trumped on the tip, and ball goes to Rich Broa, first up with the ball coming across the half-court line.
There we go. Lot, like we mentioned pregame, a lot on this game, and so Titans come out in a man defense, throw it over the top, and loses control of the ball and Titans come back the other way.
Yeah, Doozy got taken, got his pocket picked, and Mason Hackbart takes the length of 4, misses the layup, rebound to Highland. Barella with the ball in hand. Barella dribble penetrating, ball top to Doozy, over to Glenn, the sophomore, driving. Colt Durham for the 3. Hit the rim at least 3 times there, no good.
Yeah, almost got the shooter's touch. Did you see Max Haycock moving his feet laterally there to stay in front of Barella? Pretty impressive. I know Coach Tolson does a lot of work in practice on that very skill.
Well, Max Haycock joins the starting lineup. It's been a hot minute since he's been in it, but gets back in for this game. I think a lot of that was Coach's call to have to defend a very, very quick Barella.
He is a good ball defender. Shot clock down to 5. Shot goes up. Looked like Camden there with the shot, just off the back iron.
Owen Wild dribbling the ball in the dead corner, gets it to Durham. Durham looked, didn't like it. Send it up to Barella in the high wing.
Pretty good defense on the last stop by Highland there. Took it down to 5 seconds on the shot clock, and now it looks like the Titans are returning the favor. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Barella with the fadeaway, good.
Pretty shot. I thought Major Anderson here was going to get the shot clock operator's dream and hit that early shot clock, but
oh yeah.
2 minutes in, score 2-0 to Highland.
Well, with defense, good ends, and like you talked about in the pregame, Travis, long defense there by Owen Wild. He gets the poke away, and Highland comes back the other way.
So we had some trouble, technical difficulties in the pregame. We didn't get to talk about our keys, what we thought were going to be the keys to a Titan victory. Barella up for the 3 and good. That was a deep 3 too, by the way.
Yeah, it was probably a good step behind the 3-point line.
Takes him to 5-0, 5:37 left in the first quarter. Max Haycock with the ball. We didn't ever get a chance to catch to our keys to the game, and one of them we're going to touch on here. You added this one. Why don't you start off?
Just turnovers. I don't know that that's rocket science for any team. Boys, girls, no matter the level, you got to limit turnovers, and we've seen 2 turnovers already from the Titans. Good strong take there. Another missed layup. Maybe we should have that as a key to the game, is make your layups. But that was a contested layup. That's a hard shot.
A couple of the keys I had, I told you in the pregame, I got a lot of respect for Rich Barella. I think he's fast, he's a good shooter, he's rangy, he plays great defense.
And he scored 5 points.
Yeah, exactly. One of the keys I had now is we had to limit the big plays, particularly from him. I think we're going to have to worry about his range a little bit. He can shoot from just about anywhere on the floor, and kid's got guts. Last one I had, and it's kind of coming to fruition already. I wish we could have covered this, made us look smart, but rebound.
Yeah.
I mean, our rebound is kind of hit and miss some days, and we can't afford to be giving up any rebounds, especially in the defensive end of the floor, because those are easy putbacks with Highland's range.
A good strong take by Camden there. Did the little step under, step through, got hacked on the arm, and we'll have 2 shots. And hopefully we're going to find out here, I hope, if there is a lid on our basket or not. So let's see if we can get one of these free throws to fall. And prove that the ball can go in. Not yet. Still that lid. Number 11 coming in, Cohen Tingy.
Subbing Owen Wild out. That foul was Doozy, junior post, number 0, drawing his first foul. It's the first foul of the game so far, halfway through the first quarter.
Ball goes in the bucket, so a lot of times that's what you need. Just get things started and get things going. Looks like Colton Durham taking the ball down the court, loses control. Scramble. Over the back call.
Cohen Tingy from the dead corner 3 ball, got an over the back call on Doozy again. As he draws his second foul. Okay, we got a pronunciation key from Mr. Matty Merrill. Dooz Traore. Dooz Traore.
Traore.
We're going to just say it fast.
Oh, yeah.
Or just keep calling him Doozy.
Yeah, I like Doozy.
What a catchy name. Max Haycock with the ball, caught timeline. Camden Bateman in the wing, inserts to Mason Hackbarth at the free throw line. Tip pass given to Deegan Branson, driving to the rack. Checking out Mason for the 3 ball.
The lefty, a little short. Ball finds its way out to Camden. And now we have a strong take, but stronger defense there. Mason took the ball in, lefty, just got met at the rim.
Markel Bowens checking the line, number 5 for Highland, has to come back with the rejection that went off Mason's head there. Highland ball.
And for Doozy, I believe, with his 2 quick fouls. 4 minutes left in the quarter, and it looks like the Titans clear the ball there, but got to find a way to get some points here. Just a slow start offensively, or a strong defensive showing by both teams. Either way you want to look at it, I guess. Another block there by, was it Marshall Bowens?
That's Bowens. He's a big boy. If the camera probably won't do it justice. He's a big kid.
Yep.
Like that hustle on the rebound from Hudson Harker, getting some physicality going. So
they're doing a great job rebounding so far. Like you said, I think I don't know that they've had an offensive rebound. We've had a couple offensive rebounds as far as the Titans go. Official called that they cleared. Camden cleared his little space there with the elbow.
Into the game for the Rams is number 10, Owen Wild. Into the game for the Titans is number 3, Connor Davenport.
This is one of those hard times where if you and I are sitting in the corner watching Zooms, we might have some different commentary, but we're on the air. I got to bite my tongue a little bit.
I got it too.
I got to be honest, I didn't love that. I didn't love it.
Yeah. You know, a lot of it depends our angle versus the officials' angles. I know the officials do their best job. Looks like it got away with a little travel there, Barella. Got a jump ball. Thunder Ridge's turn to take control of the ball.
You know,
so a turnover there.
I can't tell you that I feel like there's a momentum shift by any means right now, but you know, I do think the Thunder Ridge Titans here are trying to control the pace. Another one of my keys I had written down we didn't get a chance to get to, but I feel like the Titans need to make sure we're not playing with our hair on fire tonight. I just don't think we can afford to play at that pace. We get playing at a heated pace. We tend to turn the ball over a bit. But if we can slow things down, let the game come to us a bit, I think it's just again a no-brainer on the not rocket science coaching point, but it's important.
Yep, absolutely. Looked like the ball got tipped backcourt, and then we got a late foul call. 3 seconds left on the play clock, and so Lil Bell out there on the entry pass, but we've scored. Titans scored 1 point in just about 6 minutes. But I think, if I remember right, Highland scored all 5 of their points just right at the start of the game. And since Thunder Ridge has tightened up their defense a little bit.
A 5-0 run into a 1-0 run for the Titans. Camden Bateman with the only point for the Titans so far. Tanner scores, he checks into the lineup.
As does Connor Davenport in the game. Joining Hudson Harker, Deegan, and Max Haycock.
So both teams match up with a smaller lineup. Hudson Harker with a 3-ball short off the front iron. Rebound Highland.
And a little drought on field goal drought continues. You got to give Highland a lot of credit on the defensive end. They're D'ing up and no easy looks. A couple offensive rebounds for Thunder Ridge, but no easy looks on the shot. And I would say the same goes the other way.
I would agree. I spent about half the day today in here getting everything set up and going through all sorts of technical problems. And I watched the pregame practice and heard Coach Tolson.
That's a tongue twister.
I can't get it out of my mouth. Talked about how this game is going to be physical, and there's no disappointment. This is a physical ball game. And
another 3-point attempt.
I'm watching particularly off. You have a second to watch off the ball. There's a lot of pushing and shoving and grabbing. Mason Hackbar checking back into the lineup for Hudson.
Mason Hackbar.
Yeah, Mason Hackbar back in the game.
Speaking of snacks, if people are, if you're not here, you are missing out. There's a Chris Paz benefit night. Student we lost last Sunday to a tragic and untimely illness. Soccer player for us, and the Bayemos Club is out there hosting a Mexican feast. Had a couple tamales. Had some street corn. My goodness,
good for you.
It was good.
When I got here tonight, it looked like a zoo. There were so many people packed into our front foyer area. So good to see. Just the support the community came out for Christopher and the family. You know, it's a lot to say. Thoughts and prayers are with you and your family, but even more so, people come out and they spend the time with the spend the money to support the family. They come out and they support it in person just to show the love.
What folks may not know
Strength.
is that Nancy Hayron, one of our counselors, and her Bayamos Club is...
Just rolls off your tongue, Travis.
It's getting better. I can't say Coach Tolson, but I can say Bayamos.
Bayamos, yeah, see.
The long and short is a big donation. Every dollar that comes into the concession stand tonight is going right back to the Paz family. Now, I like that hustle right there. Max Haycock got back.
Connor with the 3.
Just can't find the bottom of the net today. Offensive foul call charged against Deegan Branson, number 11, the sophomore guard, his first personal foul.
You don't mind those fouls, just aggressive, end of the quarter. You know, he's being aggressive, going to get the ball. 11 seconds left. We'll see what Highland can do at the end of the quarter to finish off. Strong take by Barella. Finish the quarter. It's going to end us at 7 points for Barella and 1 point for Thunder Ridge.
It seems right now, well, one of our keys to the game is coming to the unfortunate truth. We've got to keep Ridge Barella bottled up if we possibly can. That kind of shows what we were talking about earlier, that the athletic burst, that speed. I mean, he was dribbling down, really had no open look, to be honest, and just dribble penetrated to the rack, and there's no real answer there.
And he was well defended against a long defender. I think Mason Hackbarth came over on help side and gave him a good defensive look and contested the shot there. But like you said, if you don't stop him at the top of the key, that penetration is going to kill you. Let me tell you a little something about athleticism, Travis. If you get a chance, pay some attention to our cheerleaders when they're out doing their tumbling, doing their lifts, and just fun to watch because they are super athletic, doing some things that I can't do. I can do some of the things that boys do on the basketball court. I can't do some of the things those cheerleaders do, I promise you that.
Well, a big week coming up for both our cheer and dance teams.
Yeah.
Odyssey performed at halftime of the JV game, one of their comp routines. We have district championships coming up Saturday.
So dance is at Bonneville High School. Their team competitions start right about noon if you can make it out. Tell us about cheer. Where are they going to be located this weekend?
Cheer is over at Skyline High School, and right now we know the competition starts at 9, but we don't know what time and who will be where just yet. There's still some shuffling going on of who's going to be in which routines and which schools. Hey, again, Doug, the reality is I'm watching it off the ball down the low key. You got the Bowens player there, number 5 for Highland. Just a physical ball player. Mason Hackbar trying everything he can to match his physicality. And
Mason's physical as well.
Yeah, Mason's no slouch.
Yep, that's going to be a fun battle to watch tonight. And Doozy, that Bowen came in to replace, is also physical. So, like you said, that's one of their strengths. A little bobble underneath for Mason. Just got caught too far underneath the basket there. He's not. Most often, you're not going to get that call when you're that far underneath the basket. He might have been fouled, but it's hard for the officials to make that call. Well, after Marshall makes a couple blocks on the defensive end, he gets blocked on the offensive end. Now a quick steal by Perella. He initiates a contact and gets a foul call. He's looking for the 2-and-1 there, but he definitely initiated that contact. Smart player and couldn't finish. So he got 2 free throws.
Forgive me trying to multitask over here. We have Mason Hackbar draw that foul.
Yep.
It's his first on the night. And Ridge Barella at the line shooting 2, gets the first.
I didn't see who had the field goal for coming out of the quarter for Highland.
We're gonna have to track that down. We get a dead ball here in a bit.
Barella with a second, good. Didn't even touch the rim. Nice little stroke there, nice shooter.
9 of Highland's 11 points so far come from Ridge Barella. Not a lot of surprise on my end necessarily.
No, that was one thing we touched on. It's going to have to defensively, you're going to have to clean that up, and so they do. Highland running man-to-man here. Ball slips through.
Yeah, in all fairness, though, Brella's not getting easy looks.
No.
He's not getting freebies by any means, but he's making some shots that are just putting to the bottom of the net.
You know, we mentioned how important this game is tonight, and Thunder Ridge come out to a little sluggish start, but they've been known to do that from time to time this year, and you got to shake things off. Good defense with a piece there, a block.
I like that. Nice little block from Camden Bateman, and even drew a foul. Markel Bowens is going to be his second foul.
So they're going to be some quick foul trouble there with two bigs. So they're going to come with a smaller lineup there. They lose both of their fives. So that's going to create some challenges too on the Thunder Ridge Titans side.
Yeah, looks like Coach Tolton's going to elect to keep his bigger lineup in for the time being.
For a
the small
possession,
lineup's coming up.
Yep. Got to match up a little bit. Connor with a strong drive. Draws a foul.
I like the take. That's going to be Cohen T's second foul as well. So we got three guys with two fouls of the Highland Rams. Takes Connor Davenport to the line shooting two.
It's good to see Connor aggressive and taking the ball to the basket. Too often I shouldn't say too often, he's a very good three-point shooter. And so he spends a lot of his time out there looking for that three-point shot. And as the defense came out on him, closed out, he was able to take it aggressively to the rim, got 2 free throws, and makes them both.
Took all 3 points for the Titans coming out of free throws.
Still not a field goal in the game yet.
Connor does a good job, gets checked out of the game.
We're still pretty big out there, Travis. I thought we were going to sub out some of our bigger players and kind of match Highland's lineup, but that's not the route they took. So we're going to see how the matchup problems affect Highland, and then conversely on the other end with the smaller lineup for Highland, how that affects Thunder Ridge.
Well, I think it's a good call on your part. That length just caused that turnover right there. Camden Bateman's long arms there got up in the passing lane and forced Barella to throw the ball a little bit wide left, went out of bounds, Titan ball.
Just smothering defense there. Very quick closeouts. Looking for maybe a little forced inside there by Max, but hit a little window and then gave the look. Just couldn't complete the pass. Another one and done for Highland.
Yeah, Cohen T, the 3 ball in the deep corner, just outside. Rebound Thunder Ridge. I can tell. It's painfully obvious at this point what Coach Tolston's timeout. I don't know why. Not on there.
It's always been hard.
It was big time. I can tell the change there. Was that a full or looks like we're still trying to decide if that's a full. We're at 30-second timeout. You can tell the timeout adjustment there. Let's try to get the ball inside now.
Yeah.
I mean, we're really working inside, trying to get that ball into Mason. Now, Highland's seeing it. That's the hard part for us right now is that Highland's front and back in Mason right now, and so it's hard to insert it to him. If we can get that lane, if we get that drill penetration like Deegan had on that last possession, you get the defense to clap, that's going to open up that backside, and if we can get Highland to cheat over and lose that help, I think that's going to be the money ticket here in a second. I was trying to listen to the coach while I was talking as well, and you could hear him saying, you got to get that ball into the post.
Yep. But you have to move the ball in order to do that. I don't think, like you said, they're fronting and backing their Mason, and so in order to get that interpass, we got to get some ball movement to make the defense flow with the ball. Good look on the inbound, and just comes up short. So we'll see how that adjustment, that timeout. I love watching timeouts and the offense that you run after a timeout. Coach Tolson had a great play called there. Just couldn't connect, but had a wide open look. Pretty quick little up and under there.
Takes him to 11 points in the day, Ridge Barella, 11 of Highland's 13 points.
Gonna need to come up with something for that. Again, good give and go there, and he traveled.
No basket, travel in violation. It's Highland ball.
That's just one of those things. Kind of surprised him, it looked like. Kind of surprised him that he got the ball there. And you just coach and you hope those kids get a jump stop, but he took a little extra step with his jump stop. But we're going to get a field goal here. We're almost 12 minutes into the game, and I think we're going to, any minute now, we're going to put the ball in the bucket and get something positive going on our offense.
Yeah, we're definitely due. With 3 ball from Colt Durham from the corner right in front of our bench. 3-point field goal takes the lead to a 13-point lead. 16-3 Highland, 4 minutes left in the second quarter. Seems like we're starting to see a little bit more control from the officials. They're not liking some things. Number 2,
just told it, like you pointed out that you feel like the strategy, the adjustment's going to be to try to get the ball in, and Highland is not going to allow that to happen even if they need to hold. In that particular case.
I do enjoy the courtside seat. Get to see these players coming on and off the floor. I could hear it through my headset. Mason Hackbar still not very happy about that lack of a call, that second to last possession there.
Yeah, it felt like he got a foul call. Aggressive take there. Some bumping and some physicality there, but no call. And you just have to play through that.
Yeah, we talked about this in the girls' game. I'm going to feel like I'm a broken record because I'm hearing myself. 3-point field goal for Marshall Glenn. Taking that lead to a 16-point lead now. 16-point lead. All 3 points from Thunder Ridge come from free throws. We talked about when we were doing the Highland girls game a couple days ago that you get late in the season, the later you get into prepping and conference play and into districts. We talked about as basketball coaches for years and years that officials are going to let you play through that first bump. They'll let the first one go. They'll call you the second one. And I think Highland's got a beat on that tonight because the physicality. I think the physicality is coming out of Highland a little more than the Titans right now. I'm expecting some fire and brimstone at halftime coming up in 3 minutes. But
the fouls right now, 4 fouls for Highland against 1 for Thunder Ridge, and so you can tell that Highland's coming out and being a little more physical. And they're getting called for it, but they're not getting called for all of them. And a lot of the philosophy of the coaches is we're gonna hit and bump because we're not gonna call them all. And that was another good look by Jack. Just couldn't get it to fall.
Jack Parker checked in the line. Colt Durham for 3, no good.
Good box out by Jack.
Couple of 2-3 possessions for Mr. Parker there. Trying to spark some life back in.
And I tell you what, Coach Tolson's really looking for something off the bench, something to get going. Just not finding any answers. Another three-point look by Max, just off to the right.
I think I'm going to kind of clarify what I meant earlier about playing with our hair on fire. This is exactly what I was referencing, this idea that this one-shot possession business. I mean, we're going to need to, I think that's a problem when you get down several points, double-digit points. You feel like you have to come back. It's just a natural instinct. This is when you got to let the game slow down and come to you. Take good, clean shots, get the rebounds, force Highland to make some mistakes. Great rebound there from Tanner Scoresby.
Well, there are no plays that are going to make this up all in one, but so you gotta just do it one play at a time.
Got an charge.
Yep, going back the other way. Player control foul. That's a hard call for the official. He's in perfect position to make the call. Just got a little lean in and the elbow extended, and you get the charge call. And I think it was that elbow that made the call rather than the defensive player was not in position there. He was moving with the offensive guy in good position, but he didn't establish his position, but that elbow extended and gets the call. We got a official's timeout. It looks like Barella's been playing with his shoes untied now. Now he's got them tied up, so now you can expect him to play well.
Yes,
looks like Kyler in the game.
Yeah, go ahead and take over. I'm trying to multitask
good strong
here.
Take by Hudson Harker. He's just decided I'm gonna be aggressive and take the ball and gonna look for a couple points from the line. Try to get to that magic number of 5. Once the Thunder Ridge Titans get to 5, they really play well.
Well, another 5 we're talking about here. We got 5 fouls for Highland. That puts Thunder Ridge in the automatic shooting 2 bonus now for the remainder of the second period.
Hudson misses the first. So we're not going to get to that magic number of 5, but maybe we're going to get to 4. The second shot's up, nothing but the bottom of the net. So we got a score of 19-4 with 1:35 left in the first half. I think Coach Tolson is just excited to get into halftime, maybe limit the damage here, and see what we can do to regroup and get things corrected at half, make some adjustments. It's a little strong on the layup attempt there. Connor clears it over to Kyler, bring the ball up. Just over a minute left in the half. Hudson with the take and then the kick out to Connor. Another strong take by Hudson.
Sorry, I had to check out there for a second, trying to do some school admin work there.
His first personal foul.
A foul drawn on Pierce Davis. First foul.
Let's talk a little bit about, while Hudson's taking these free throw shooters, I see some buckets being passed around or preparing to be passed around for the fundraiser. Doing a big fundraiser tonight for the Christopher Paz family. Going to pass some buckets and just try to raise some money and just help your funeral expenses. Those of you that don't know, that for unexpected deaths, I can't imagine there's life insurance, there's those kinds of things. It's just hard for the family, and so a lot of money being collected. Hudson missed both free throws there, and we got the offensive rebound, a little strong on the layup, so we're still yet to get to that magic 5. 34 seconds left in the quarter. 2 possessions left in the half, it looks like. Long 3 for Barella, bottom of the net. And I think looks like Coach Tolson's gonna we're gonna milk this down, try to get the last shot, maybe build a little momentum and get into half where we are. Kyler with the look, short in front of the rim. Barella is gonna drive down the court. No shot.
Basket is no good.
Definitely after the buzzer. 22-4, end of the half. Not a great half, Travis. Just not a great offensive half. 22 points, only other team to 22 points, I think, for the most part. Not too unhappy with that, really.
No, we're not too unhappy on the defensive end. Holding Highland at 22 points is an accomplishment we're going to be, I can tell you, Coach is going to be very happy about. The goal is always 45 points, and so that puts you on track to keep it at 45 or less. But the offensive end, scoring 4 points in 2 quarters, that's just not going to cut it today.
Yep, just gonna, yeah. And there's a lot of things to attribute that to as you're watching the game. Certainly Highland's defense is one thing. They move their feet very well. They stay in front of the ball. They deny penetration into the post. And so there's a lot of things they're doing good, but Thunder Ridge is just not making any baskets either. So it's a little twofold there. Our band sounds great with the fight song, and that might be just what the doctor needed. We're going to turn some time over now to Nancy Hayrand, our Bayamos advisor. She's going to present a little bit on the Christopher Paz benefit night.
Yeah, we're going to allow, get Nancy up there. This is the idea of community and rallying around. One of our families suffered some real tragedy. It's not some, it's not little, it's a lot of tragedy.
Oh, man.
Chris was taken suddenly, and it was something that caught everybody off guard. The young man was in school on Thursday and was sick by Sunday morning and just couldn't pull out of it. So boys soccer program really rallying. The funeral was yesterday. There was a couple of things the soccer team did that were touching and moving, and I'll be honest with you, I couldn't make it over there, but I saw the video and it broke your heart.
Yeah, it's just Tragedy is a word that gets thrown around a lot, but it's just awful, absolutely awful. Just feel for the family, feel for these friends and, that just lost right now.
Well, Marco Acosta, our senior boys soccer captain, the district champions, went to state. Marco just signed a full-ride scholarship at the College of Southern Idaho to play soccer, and he is clearly a bigger crowd than he's used to. I got to admit, there's a lot of people in here.
There are a lot of people. Yep.
Through that door,
and Marco does a great job. Maybe listen in here for a minute.
that's everything you need to know about Chris. That's everything that you will see of it. That's his life in a nutshell. He had the most beautiful, contagious smile that would just engrave in each and every single one of our hearts. Chris, he was sensitive enough to know when you were. He was sensitive enough to know when you were hurt and make you smile with his laugh. He would always tell you a joke to cheer you up, but he was also courageous enough to showcase his talents in the classroom and in the field. He was a man with not that many words, but when he did speak, it was always important, or he would make you laugh so hard that you would pee your pants.
I'm going to have to go off the mic. I'm laughing too much at him.
Always admired his humility because he would always be thinking about he was the most unselfish kid that I have ever met. He would always be thinking of others, and he would always be looking for ways to make other people happy. I am so honored to have met this beautiful soul, and I also got to witness how amazingly beautiful job Gonzalo and Dulce Paz did to raise this fine young man. It's a beautiful thing though, because Chris is with God now. When we do prayers, he will be alongside with God, hearing them. He is our connection to God. He is our angel. It was a big loss for the community to witness this, but through all this, we really got to experience how much a supportive community we all came to be. And I feel like that just in and itself, just to show how much the Idaho Falls community is willing to do for each other. If I learned anything from this, it's that we have to value our relationships. We often spend too much time beating up each other on the little things. But what we really need to do is just let it all go. Even if it's hard. We have to let it all go and value the ones who are around us, because they are truly beautiful, and you'll never know when the last day will be. I love you, Chris. Long live Chris.
I don't want to jump in and talk over Coach, but I think there's a powerful message in there.
Absolutely.
You know, Marco did a good job speaking at his signing and talked to it in a similar fashion, but brings a poignant message there that you just never know when it's going to be the last. So savor every moment you got.
And focus on your relationships. That's what life is.
Hard not to watch those boys and not be touched just a little bit. And that's a hard moment for them. There's some. I got to know these boys a lot. I spent a lot of time to practice games. It's been a couple good years with these guys, and they're a tough bunch, and they're a tough outer shell. A lot of these kids don't have a whole lot to them, and they work their tails off to get everything they got. They've earned it. They've earned their successes, and they've been through plenty of failures to get there. You don't see a lot of emotion on a few of these guys that are showing right now. So touches should be touching just about everybody in here. There's not too many looking behind us. Not a lot of dry eyes.
Yeah, and it's been a little while too, but still very tender, very raw. The emotions of these young men are feeling, and you're just looking for some closure, looking for some ways to strengthen each other and support each other, and that's really all you can do at this point. Is just love and strengthen those relationships.
There are hard moments in schools. You know, Thunder Ridge is a big school, and you do a great job. Again, if you tuning in late, this is Travis Hobson here, and this is Doug McLaren, principal at Thunder Ridge High School, sitting with me. Doug, you do a great job. We have a very loving, warm staff that takes care of our kids, and I think attitude reflects leadership. Had a conversation behind your back just this morning about something like that. Got a staff that's got a great following and sure love and appreciate you. And these boys, you don't like getting your horn tooted by any means. I know you better than that. But it's a lot of fun to see these guys reflect some of your personal characteristics, and it's a great showing for a good school, and it's a good piece of community.
Well, it goes, I think we touched on it, just the great parents, great community members that we have in our area, and how they raise these young men to be strong and to be able to
also
support each other
basketball
and
team.
come
I know
out
we
and
have
strengthen
a little
each other.
news for the Paz family. So if you guys want to go ahead and present them with it, let's go ahead and do it now.
So we did ask Coach Berger. Coach, if you want to grab one of those chairs there, pull up next to Mr. McLaren here. We got a headset for you. So we weren't quite sure, Coach. Now you're on board here. We weren't quite sure what the schedule's going to look like in terms of halftime and how much time we'd have, and got 3 minutes left on the clock. So, Coach, we're in pretty quick. This is Coach Michael Berger.
Hey, how's it going?
It's our head football coach. You want to get that thing right up your mouth on it?
Got you.
Sounds much better there, boss.
Thanks for joining us, Coach Berg.
How are you guys
Boy,
doing?
it's good to see you. Doing great.
We were
little
doing
better with the
awesome in pregame. And
I know 4 points is not our standard, so can't get any worse.
I'm going to go out and lay a bet out there right now that Coach Tolson's going to be holding these boys inside the locker room probably till a couple of seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, I agree with you. It seems like you might accidentally score more than 4 points. Ball bounce in just a crazy way, and the ball goes in, but 0 field goals in the first half. You've spent a little time on the basketball court, I know, Coach Burge. So what, in your view, what do we got to do? What does Coach Tolson got to do in order to get things turned around for our Titans?
I think the boys, they just look tight right now. We need to push the ball, get some fast break, take it to the rim, and try to get some easy layups. I mean, it just looks like the boys are sitting on the perimeter and just kind of watching each other. And, you know, just a little nerves maybe with the night being emotional. Maybe that's what's holding them back a little bit. But like Travis said, I think Lee's going to have a good talk in the halftime, and they're going to have a good second half.
It's kind of funny, you mentioned the emotion of the night, losing Christopher Paz, and how that might affect teams and players. Sometimes it goes the other way. Sometimes it lights a fire and you play with cause. Other times you just play with a heavy heart, and you see what we see in the first half tonight.
No, absolutely. I mean, just emotional, and we're very close-knit as a Thunder Ridge community, so hopefully we use that as motivation for the second half. The boys are going to get some shots up. Hopefully we see some smiles on the face and get better body language.
Yeah. So some things that people may not know about Coach Berger is he did spend, what, six years at Highland before
Yep,
coming
6
to Thunder
years.
Ridge?
Yep.
6 years. So you know a lot of these boys. We've been talking about Ridge Barella. There was one of our keys to the game and trying to bottle him up. We have not bottled him up. The reality is, I don't think Ridge has gotten a lot of freebies, but he's making plays all over the floor, which is something we were concerned about going into this. Tell us a little about Ridge and your time at Highland.
Ridge Barella, what a great kid. I really enjoyed coaching him. I coached his older brother all 4 years, but he's just a gamer. He doesn't let his size affect his output, and that's what's really impressive about him. So I think with Ridge Barella, he's going to let the game come to him. He's not going to force it, and it's really impressive how he carries himself.
Good call. Might have to get Coach Johnson's chair back there. So, Coach, tell us, we've talked a little bit about basketball team and Mr. Barella, who's just really taking it to us right now. We got to bottle him up and do some things to take care of him. But let's talk about your program and some things you've got going on for you. You had a big week this week.
Yeah.
You had a big day today.
Oh, big day with Jaden Tulia, our offensive tackle, transferred to us 2 years ago, comes from a great family, and he signed with the Oregon State Beavers, and that's just a great achievement for him, and we're very proud of him for our football program. And that's back-to-back years we had a D1 signing. So I'm very fortunate and lucky to coach such great kids.
So speaking of coaching great kids, we're going to check off and sign back onto the game. Tell us a little about the future of the Thunder Ridge Titans football team.
I think we have a lot of potential. We're getting a lot more numbers. We're getting in the weight room, and it just takes time. But no, we're positive. We're going to just keep attacking it.
Well, if you don't mind, stay on here with us, Coach. Remember,
sure.
You can get the hot mic. So
tell us a little bit about when you have what difference a D1 player makes for a program like that when they sign, when they're playing on your team, and when they're in the locker room during the season, and then how that affects the team when they actually go into a Division I school.
It's just a natural leader. I mean, the boys look to him. When things go hard, they're going to look to the Division I kid, and they know that he can handle the moment. So he was a leader without even being vocal, and that's where the D1 aspect, it gives our other younger players something to strive for. A lot of players want to play college football at the next level, and it's good to see Jaden's work ethic and how difficult it is.
Yeah. Just all that time in the gym, all that time in the weight room, doing what they need to do in order to take that next step.
Yeah, you have to be
pretty impressive.
Yeah, you have to be special, and I think kids, everyone wants to play college football, but they just don't understand how difficult it is, and that's where, you know, when we do have them, we need to recognize them, and there we go, got to the bucket.
We made a field goal. How about that?
Yeah, I got Mason Hackbar right down the. It had to been the adjustment Coach was making at halftime. We got to work the ball to the middle, especially with their foul trouble. We've got to get the ball in the middle. But Coach, you touched on something about a lot of young men and a lot of athletes, student athletes, male, female, trying to set goals to be at the next level, and people to realize that the reality is it's a 7% likelihood for any student athlete at the high school level to go to the next level at any level of any kind, any sport. It's a pretty low number that really requires special takes.
No, and Hudson Harker right there, the best athlete in the school, and he did not get an opportunity to get a D1 scholarship for football, which is unfortunate, but that shows such a great player. Some of them don't get recognized, and I still think he'll have a great college career, whatever he chooses to do, but it's very difficult.
And you said it, he is a great athlete, one of our great receivers for our football team, and great on the basketball court, and a great baseball player. True three-sport athlete, and excels at all of them. A lot of times he's the most athletic kid on the field, on the court, or on the diamond.
Oh, I told everybody all year he's the most athletic kid in the state, best athlete, and I will stand by that. Oh, late whistle.
Well, it's a little bit of disappointment from the call there when you get a foul called here from Deegan Branson. It's going to be his second foul.
26-6, 5.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Tell me, Travis and Coach Berger, what do you try to do here? You got to cut into the lead here. You got to have, by the time you get to the fourth quarter, do you have a number in mind that you want to get the lead cut to, or do you just want to be aggressive, see the ball go in the bucket, and then come what may?
I think it all starts on defense first off. You got to get stops. Don't worry about scoring it. Just worry about getting stops, and then the points will come. But if you can cut it to single digits before the fourth quarter, then you're sitting better. Oh.
Yeah, just anywhere around 10, single digits, you're gonna feel like you gotta win because you've cut the lead in half essentially.
Yes.
But you can't be in a rush. I like where you say you start on the defensive end. If you start jacking up threes, you start driving the ball recklessly, you're gonna just have more turnovers and bad looks than you are anything else. So getting stops is much more important at this point of the game.
I think that's the piece you got to lead into. Is at this point I know you're looking for quantity. And it's the human nature default to find the quantity and see the numbers, but you got to look for the quality shots. You know, the odds. You got to play the odds here. They're gonna have to get good shots. These inside-out looks they're getting Mason to drive the bucket, and draw the fouls, and one is a beautiful thing right there. Mason Akbar getting an and one. I like that move right there. Just a straight dribble penetration and get the defense to collapse. We were talking about that earlier in the second quarter. If we can get them to collapse, that backside look, that dump off is going to be there, or the kick three to the dead corner. Either one of those can be good for us, and those looks are better.
I'm reading a Jack Carr book. One of the things I really like in that book is about Navy SEAL and, you know, kind of redemption, that kind of stuff. But he says you got to go slow to go fast, and that's how I feel like on offense when you're down by double digits, when you're down by 19, 20 points. You be deliberate, and then you get good looks, and that's how you make a difference.
Well, it is 27-8. The lead has been cut to 19-4. 51 left in the third quarter. Turnover on the offensive end from Highland. It's going to be Thunder Ridge ball. Inbound to Max Haycock, bringing it up the floor. Ridge picking him up at half.
I think, Travis, sorry to jump in, but we just got to stay true to our identity. We're a great ball team. We average 55 points a game. We can get it going. There we go, a backdoor right there. So, yeah, just stay true to yourself. We'll chip away at this. We just cannot press, like you said earlier.
Yes, it was one of our keys, was it not? You got to keep our hair not on fire, and just play at our pace. And you got to know, you got to be able to go fast, but you got to know when to slow down and let the game come to you. I think Highland's trying to push that pace. Ooh, an offensive foul.
Offensive foul. Looks like they got Marshall Bowens away from the ball on an illegal screen.
That is Markel Bowens'
third foul. Doozy comes back into the game.
Foul trouble's getting to be a little bit of a problem for Highland tonight. You know, at this point, the point differential, 17 points at this point, kind of makes that foul trouble a little less threatening. But foul trouble exists nonetheless. And I don't think this thing's going to be it's not a gimme just yet.
No, you just have to get some good looks. There, another three-point look, just not able to fall. Ball almost touched the nylon in and out, so deep. So.
Mason Hackbarth on an offensive rebound and put back, just didn't quite get it. Good time for a Highland miss. Thunder Ridge ball, 3:49 left in the third.
The hard thing when you get down by 20, 21 points, 22, whatever we were, you can't have a lot of bad defensive ends of the court. You just got to be tough on that end, and then you got to take care of the ball on offense, because every possession matters when you're down. Because you know Highland's going to continue to score some points, and now you just got to, you don't have to be perfect, but you have to be deliberate and be good. Another contested 5-footer there.
Timeout called by
30-second timeout called by Coach Stuckey and the Highland Rams. Coach, let's talk a couple more things for you. Just a quick second here. What do you like in terms of cutting this deficit now? We've been on a 5-2 run at this point. Is that sound about right? You're still down 17, 27-10. I like the backcourt ball pressure from Max Haycock there, and picked up the ball early at the plus free throw line. What do you think we've got to do to cut into this lead a little bit?
I really like that full court kind of pressure. We got to force Highland to kind of speed up a little bit, get defensive stops like we've said. But you speed them up a little bit, that's going to gain more possessions for us and then give us more opportunities to score. We can't let the half-court offense kind of set and go the full 35 seconds. We need to make sure that we're forcing them into some turnovers, and we got some good athleticism. So I would imagine Coach Tolton's probably going to get some pressure going here in the next little bit, whether it's a full court or half-court trap.
You want to capitalize on that athleticism and that length and use it to your advantage.
See, there we go.
Deegan Branson, Rich Varela on the dribble penetration, got a nice swat reaction from Deegan Branson. Swatted that ball out of bounds, 22 seconds left on the shot clock. Highland inbounding on the baseline. Elevated
there, didn't he? Boy, that was pretty impressive.
Really
the way he got up. And I was watching him in warm-ups. He got up to the top of the rim and was not dunking in warm-ups, because that's not what we allow. But another in and out three from Deegan.
Just can't get those shots to fall. It's been on both ends of the floor. I was secretly hoping, I didn't want to come out and admit it, I was secretly hoping that changing the ends at the halftime was going to be the difference maker. That is our favorite hoop. We like heading to the north. Just still not working for us.
But I tell you what, Travis, those are good looks, and Coach Tolton's going to take that every time. You're not going to get all those to fall, but you're gonna take a good look, and with good shooters, more are going to fall than not.
Dribble drive.
Offensive rebound, Camden Bateman. Another attempt at an offensive rebound. We're scrapping, I'll tell you that. We are scrapping right now. just looking at the raw numbers, we are outscoring Highland right now, 6-5 in the third quarter. The problem is it's not scoring enough to make that differential up.
Yeah, you got to cut into it.
Here comes the half-court pressure
trap,
right here.
1-2-2 trap.
Yep. Let's see.
Cross court to break it. I like that, just to break up the momentum a little bit, break up the ball control.
Yep.
And a lot of times, even if you don't get a turnover on that press, it changes the tempo, it changes their timing, and puts a little pressure on them to respond.
Yeah, if we can speed up Ridge Barella, that would be big because he's just so under control. And there's a miss by Ridge, and
it was a great rebound in traffic.
Out of bounds, it's Titans basketball.
I don't hate the game plan from the Titans, though. I still think the defensive, Highland's defense is still, it's just been stifling all night for that matter. But checking into the lineup, Tanner Scoresby coming in, and Hudson Parker checking back in. We're getting a longer lineup.
Hey, and can I say, Tanner Scoresby the past couple games has gotten a lot of confidence. It's been really nice to see. He's a great wide receiver for us, and it's been fun to see him kind of playing with a little chip on his shoulder, and hopefully he can be the momentum kind of spark plug that they need.
He has been streaky for sure. He sees a ball go in the hoop. You can count on 2 or 3 more falling as well.
I will say this, and we didn't even talk much about. We had some technical difficulties, Coach, on the outset of this broadcast, and had to switch over. We didn't get a chance to go through our entire pregame. One of the things we're going to talk about is, we're missing Bowen Rose right now, and I got to tell you, Bowen out for the what's going to be the end of the season with an ankle injury, from what we're hearing.
I hate that.
That's the kind of guy we need right now. Bowen was a great spark plug coming off the bench, and just get that wild hair on fire thing that we've been talking about in a negative way, but in a good way. And next thing you know,
a great defender.
He's a great defender.
Just the energy that Bowen Rose brings, I mean, it's contagious. That's what we always say. When you got guys with good energy, the boys are going to feed off that. And wow, I didn't know that about Bowen's injury. That's really hard to hear for the team.
I'm not sure. I can't speak to it being done for the season, but he is in a full cast, not an air boot anymore. So, and on crutches, and the big fancy kind that didn't come from us. So
yeah,
I would predict he's probably done so for the season.
Well, for the regular season, for sure. We hold out hope. We're not doctors. We haven't had any medical reports, so we're not sure.
Doozy with free throw line gets another score for the Highland Rams, brings the score to 28-10 with just under a half minute left in the third quarter. Starting to see a number at 18 points. It's going to be a little more difficult to claw back unless Hudson Harper starts dropping threes at that.
That's a big one.
If we pick that shooting up, we got a little shot here to cut the lead
See
to
the
15.
ball go in, for everyone to see the ball go in. That's a big bucket there. Cut it to 15. Not going to be down to single digits like Coach Berger we all wanted, but we're going to be at least we cut into the lead.
But the silver lining is the lid is not, the McLaren lid is not on the rim.
There is no lid. At the buzzer, just off the three-pointer. 28-13. Start the fourth quarter. And it's like we talked about at the start, Travis. Just Highland came to play. They have a lot to play for. If Highland takes the win here, there's a tie for second place in the conference, and then it's going to come down to that last game of the season to see who's going to be the 2 seed.
Well, I'll say this: I like the third quarter from the Titans. I like the halftime adjustments. I like what I'm seeing right here. One of our assistant coaches taking the team. Coach Colson's over there. I can see him barking. I can read his lips. This is all about attitude and energy. I can hear him. I coached Coach Colson for a year, so I do know what he's saying over there. He's talking about controlling the things you can control, have a good attitude, not being passive, and reading lips. And those are all great. They're fine coaching points. That's exactly what needs to be here.
Yeah, sometimes kids don't need the X's and O's talk, to play drawing up, let's run this, let's do that. They need the motivation just to stick to it, and then things are gonna start falling, and you stick it out. You finish the quarters, you start the quarters. Those first couple minutes and the last couple minutes of quarters are very important.
But I do want to take a quick interruption here. I feel like we got to throw out some. we must have done a decent enough job with the girls game because we did attract a couple of sponsors. One of them actually is Coach Colson's Valley Office System. So
Valley Office.
Shout out
Great
to Valley
company.
Office System. Appreciate you sponsoring the McLaren and Hobson broadcast. We'll have Coach Berger join us. We also have another sponsor, the Murdoch Man-Wearing Real Estate Corporation,
Another
joined
great
in,
company, real estate company.
helping us out, making this a lot of fun. We appreciate your support and services. And another miss on the offensive end from Highland. Rebound to Hudson Harker. Bring it back over the timeline, and we're getting into an offense now. Good job, Kyler.
Kyler Sparks, great shooter, quick with the ball. Little three-man weave on top of the key.
I like the insert to Hudson Harker and drawing a foul. Now that's going to be good for us. So I like, again, I still think it's fun when you come back and see the obvious adjustment, this getting the ball inserted down low. It's been kind of great to see it happen.
And with Highland switching on those screens, we're going to get some mismatches. So I would love to see when maybe Ridge is on Tanner or Hudson Harker, they can get a low post touch and we can kind of utilize them switching.
Free ball, just a little strong, but cleared by Camden. Top of the key to Hudson Harker now.
Back into modified three-man weave. Tanner scores beyond the penetration, and that's the kickoff we needed. Just Colt Durham saw it too.
Looks like Mason Hackbar's getting ready to check back in. Defensive breakdown there, and you just can't afford it. You just can't afford it when you're down 15 points. You just gotta, everyone's gotta be responsible and take care of their defensive assignments.
See, and this is push it, just kind of pressing a little bit. We need to just be patient and work at offense. I get it, we want to score points, but let it come in rhythm.
Well, Highlands Ridgebrella drill penetration draws a foul. It's going to get charged to Connor Davenport. It's going to be his first team foul. His first foul, first team foul of the fourth quarter. Mason Hackbar checking back in for Scoresby.
And Camden.
And Camden.
So we got a little bigger lineup, this Thunder Ridge right now. It'll be interesting to see how that impacts the defensive end and the offensive end.
Well, I'd say the Titans got their work cut out for them at this point, but
They've dug a hole, haven't they, Travis?
Yeah, we're not out of the woods by any means.
Pretty deep in the woods.
Oh,
strong take, just a little strong on the layup. A tight window there on the pass for Hudson, and a good finish by Connor.
So again, going back to pregame and some of our keys to the game, and then reiterating at halftime, we've got to be able to speed the game up, but also be able to control the floor and the tempo. I like the Hudson's floor vision there. Floor vision saw Connor Davenport on the streak, got him on the lob pass and an easy two points.
And you say that's an easy 2 points. I think those are pretty tough when you're running full speed and you're trying to lay the ball up with someone on your hip. I think those are pretty tough shots, but he made it look easy for sure, didn't he?
That's only because you've done those and you've actually made them. I never made them.
Another three-pointer by Deegan, just a little strong. Another good-looking shot.
Tip ball, Connor for a three.
Looks good.
Nailed it.
I saw Coach Berger here. We were lined up perfectly for that. Coach Berger, he knew that was going in as soon as he left his hand. Perfect rotation.
hey, this is great. Now that we got a little momentum, we're on a 5-0 run. You can tell the crowd, the student section's getting a little more into it again. And shoot, it's high school basketball. You don't know what's going to happen. This is awesome for our boys. Get a couple more stops, keep scoring on our end, and we're back in this.
Yeah, we're still 6.5 minutes. It's only down 12 points at this point. The game's not over. I mean, in a perfect world, that's a 4-possession game. 4 stops, 4 3-balls. That's not. Our boys are certainly capable of doing that.
And just the mindset. The three of us have been in games like this. We've played football and basketball and everything, and so we understand there's potentially some pressure that transitions back to Highland if we start to cut into the season. Now they get a little tight, we get a little free and ride the momentum.
All right, Coach, here's the comparison. Football, your fourth quarter, you got about 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It's your ball, you're down 13 points. Call timeout. What's the coaching point?
We can't have any wasted plays. We can't shoot ourselves in the foot. We got to just get positive yards on offense. Got to get first downs, and then we gotta have a little tempo to us, stay in our rhythm. But yeah, we want to just do. Oh, perfect, good stop.
Timeout.
Timeout. Take it. Got it. we got a timeout call confusion here. We're gonna call it.
I don't think that was us, was it?
That was.
We're not talking loud enough to have that on our end, is it?
Well, I'm gonna cover my mouth because I was calling for a timeout.
I might have been too.
I might have said timeout too.
Coach Tolson, when you're reviewing this film, we do apologize. Unfortunately,
It's not us.
the
You can't
officials-
hear outside the speakers.
officials gave us a break on the inadvertent whistle. That's not good. Well, that was a turn of events that
I
didn't
guess the
favor
ball
us.
knows on those kinds of things, right?
Out of bounds, it's Highland ball.
I hope it was one of the assistant coaches got his karma's jumping up and biting us right now.
Checking in for the Titans is number 32, Hudson Harker. Also
Well,
number
moving
0,
past
Max
that,
Laycock.
a quick momentum breaker there by Barella with the steal and the follow on the layup attempt that came off the rim.
Tough couple of events breaks that broke against the Titans, broke the Rams' way there. Rich Burrell with a nice
But
steal.
we're still at 14. Not almost just under 5 minutes left. There's a lot of time left. Plenty of time to cut into a 14-point lead.
You know,
You just have a little more confidence if you scored more than 18 points in 3.5 quarters that you can score. You can cut that lead and get some stops.
well, at the rate we're going, we could just keep penetrating the rim and just foul every Highland player out.
Barella, his second personal foul. Team foul number 2.
Just can't play if everybody's fouled out, right? That's Rich Barella drawing his second foul on the game. Puts him to Highlands 2 fouls for the quarter. Thunder Ridge's 1.
I'm a little surprised they didn't call that on the shot there. They called it on the ground, on the floor. It looked like Deegan was going up with the ball when he got fouled, but officials decided it was on the floor.
And Rich Barella, if you can't hear in the background, Rich Barella drawing his third
Back-to-back.
foul. Back-to-back fouls.
Come on.
3-point from Mason, back of the rim.
Max Haycock on the attempt to steal after the Markel Bowens rebound.
Mason, he makes some of those shots for sure. He's not I'm not sure what his percentage is out there, but I think he has a green light to take those shots. That one was just a little off. I think at this point of the game, Coach Tolson's probably a little more interested in maybe our higher percentage three-point shooters shooting out there, but there's nothing wrong with Mason. Coach Tolson does a great job of giving green light to all the players. When you have a good look, take the good look.
Yeah, Owen Wild, Colt Durham drawing his second foul there.
Ooh, I love the elevator screen. 3 at the top of the key and
Look
just
good
off.
again, and
Just one of those nights.
little scramble drill. Connor with the look, an open look.
There was, I lost count. I think I lost count at 4 offensive rebounds.
Four
That
offensive rebounds.
might have been a 4th, but three good looks out of 4 offensive rebounds. Mason Hackbarth draws his foul from Owen Wild, his first personal, puts him to the line, shooting 2. Now, Doug, that does put us with 3.5 minutes left in the game in the bonus situation to our 1 foul. We got fouls to give. Good situation for the Titans.
Hudson Harker struggled a little bit from the line in the first half, going 1 for 4.
Entering the ballgame for the Rams is number 11, Cohen
1 for 5 now. He came out after halftime and he focused on shooting free throws. So he just probably lit his head a little bit right now. Just got to settle in and trust his stroke.
Another real close offensive rebound. Deegan Branson, good job
Called
hustling.
by Highland.
I think Coach Stuckey's seeing the same things we're seeing, calling a full timeout, not liking the aggressive nature of the Titans right now.
No, this is we're running out of time, Trav. But you know what? Just keep chipping away. You know, get defensive stops, and yeah, I'm just excited to see what happens.
We did a sound check there at the timeout. We were feeling a little bit guilty, but there is no way, unless these guys got radar ears. There's no way they heard us call timeout. So we're gonna lay the blame on the old bench there. No
or
harm.
just the assumption. Maybe the official made the assumption in a little scramble, they were going to call a foul.
At the end of the day, there's no harm, no foul. They gave us a break. Everybody's happy, with the exception of we just got to draw back on this 14-point deficit. I haven't cut it much since last time out that Thunder Ridge took. We're still 14 points down.
I'm going to come back to our cheerleaders. Our cheerleaders are here supporting our boys and girls all year long, and they are a lot of fun to watch. They are both, they're athletic, they're skilled tumblers, and they do the lifts. And I say they're athletic, that does not include their throwing ability. I've seen them throw some t-shirts into the stand, and their athletic ability is on their tumbling and their strength and lifts and doing the aerials. So they're fun to watch in that regard.
I would argue they're the best athletes in the school, Doug.
I'm not going to argue with you, Burge. I think other than Hudson Harker.
Oh, okay, yeah. Hudson Harker is number one. Then the cheerleaders.
The cheerleaders. They're fun to watch, and they're super supportive and positive, and it's a great group of girls. Looks like Thunder Ridge is sticking with their man defense, switching a lot of screens, and a little pop out by number 11, Cohen Tingy, but just a little strong on the three-pointer. Called for the foul.
It's like Markel Bones going to get his 4th foul from the looks of it.
We got good news and bad news for you guys. The good news is we got some free throws. We can score with the clock stopped. And we're gonna rely on Hudson to put a couple in here for us. First one looks good.
There we go.
You can tell the difference coming off his hand, can't you, Coach Berger?
Yeah, it was just softer. Hudson's one of those guys. I think every kid's like that, but you just got to get him in a rhythm. He's like that in football. He catches a couple passes, and he's dynamite. He's going through a little spurt, but there you go. Swooshes back to back.
Yep.
I do like a full court press come from the old team in white. It's causing Highland to slow things down a bit. Had a hard time now letting the press just go.
Just a little man-to-man press it looked like. Nothing super organized, just trying to change the tempo.
Yeah, sure felt like it was more to get just to defend the inbound is all, and then
yeah, maybe get a quick turnover, quick bucket.
Defend the inbound and call it a first pass maybe.
Good outside defense here by Mason Hackbarth, and nice quick little move by Barella, but Mason wasn't having any of it. Elevated, got the block. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. See what Highland can do.
Big stop.
Yep, it's good stop, good turnover. It's 12-point. I tell you what, Coach Berger, if you can cut this to 9 points, the momentum's gonna transition, and it's gonna put some pressure on the Rams.
I would love that. It'll get the crowd going. Oh. I don't love that call in that situation by the ref. Doesn't really affect the play, but
definitely contact there. And the other side of that, what Highland's going to argue there, Coach, is we probably don't need that in the backcourt. That screen, it's not going to help the offensive play call.
I don't think our student section cared for that call much either.
Was that a take the whistle?
No. Not quite. We're seeing some control. Some officials trying to insert some control. Mason Hackworth with an off-ball foul down below the key. A lot of jockeying back and forth between he and number 5, Markel Bowens. Markel Bowens.
Yeah, back-to-back fouls on Mason Hackbarth there.
It's his 3rd on the game. 3rd team foul. 2 minutes left. Highland leads 32 to 22 minutes, 3 seconds. 25 seconds on the shot clock. Colt Durham, ball in hands on the wing.
A little aggressive on the reach. And next foul is going to put Highland in the bonus, the 2-shot bonus. Quickly team fouls are balanced out. Travis, do you feel like the officials have that in the back of their mind? They try to have the foul calls pretty even by the end of the half, or is that just something that coaches complain about?
You know, coaches complain about it less than fans do, obviously. It's one of the things we were talking about last week. Coach Burge, you missed his commentary. we're debating the merits of having the stat panels and the stat wings and the scoreboards, and having the stat wings is one thing, but we don't love having points, fouls. We'd rather have rebounds and assists.
Absolutely.
I'd rather have charges.
I would
wanna
love.
put charges
We
up there.
talked about that. I would love to have
A candy bar for a charge back when I was in high school, so I was always looking for it.
over the back of 5. Looks. Yep, that's going to be Markel Bowen's 5th foul. He's going to be done for the night. He knows it.
Highland foul number
Doesn't-
5, Markel
Yeah,
Bowles.
he doesn't like it,
Personal
but
foul.
he's heading towards the bench.
And Markel Bowen, he's only a junior for Highland, and you watch next year, he's got a good frame, and he could be a D1 prospect, kind of similar to Jay Tuia. He's got a ton of potential and a big frame.
We were talking about him earlier. I don't think I would imagine the camera up there, the RoboCam. For those of you who are watching this, I have seen a couple of comments about the camera operator must be on something. It's actually a robot. I promise you, he's not on anything but power. So it follows the action. It's an automated camera. For those that don't know, we were talking earlier, Coach, that the camera probably doesn't do the Bowens kid justice. He's a big boy.
Oh, no, he's a good-looking kid. Oh, my goodness. He passes the eye test, as colleges say.
There's Hudson Harker making 4 in a row, bouncing back strong when it matters. Just under a minute and a half left. You just kind of feel like it might just be a little too late for Thunder Ridge Titans. They're going to be shooting free throws. If you can get some misses on the free throw line and get some buckets on the other end, you might have a chance. But down 10 with a minute and 15 left, I think the analytics would say it's an uphill battle.
Well, with Hudson drawing his 4th personal foul, he's going to be in a position where he can't be playing as aggressive as he probably wants to be. Coach Stuckey looks like he's drawing up some game plan just to milk the clock out. That's a smart move on his part.
Yeah. I don't know that they'll take another shot if they can help it. I think, and the Thunder Ridge Titans are going to be in foul mode.
Now, really, two quick free balls and turn this thing into a couple possession game is a different ball game. We're going to need it. This possession can be pretty critical. Taking a page out of Highland's book with a high screen at the top of the arc. Just not getting any good looks tonight.
Yeah, everything's contested. Highland's definitely come out to play, and not the best night for Thunder Ridge for sure.
And Hudson's been having good looks.
Oh,
I
he
used
has.
Hudson. The rest of the boys have, but Hudson just had a bunch of good looks, and just they aren't falling. Sometimes shot doesn't fall.
Just have those nights, don't you?
Yeah, that's the problem with basketball. Sometimes it's not your night. Oh,
You hold the team to 33, 35 points now. You almost mark up a win in those kind of situations, but not to be tonight.
Connor Davenport with a great play and an and one.
Coach Stuckey just a little beside himself, just wondering why the Rams are fouling this point of the game. Just give layups and then take care of the ball and make your free throws for the Rams is all they're focused on right now.
Sure like Davenport coming off the bench, coming in and scoring. That's his 7th point of the quarter.
Just once again.
Hudson Harker, great look right at the rim, and just isn't falling tonight. And you can tell Hudson, he gets frustrated because he has high expectations for himself, and I just feel for him because I know he wants it, and it's just not his night. But you know he's gonna get going in the future.
Misses his
Speaking of
first.
frustration, you can see Coach Tolson on the sideline. Just I think frustration is a perfect word. Just a little beside himself. Had some good practices this week, and just come out and not perform as where you expect him to be this time of year. It's frustrating. Frustrating for him, frustrating for the players. I would say he did everything he could tonight to make a run, but just not to be.
Well, I think with the clock winding out of 5 seconds left, down 10 points, 35-25, Highland's going to all but seal this thing up, and we safely say that. So let's turn our attention to what happens down the stretch. And so on the win for Highland, that moves them to 9-11, 2-3 on conference play, with 1 game left to play against Madison on Friday night. The Titans then move to 11-9, also 2-3 in conference play, tied with Highland. There could be some tiebreakers there, but Thunder Ridge still ultimately controls their destiny. So does Highland. If this thing were to go to, if both teams pull out wins on Friday night, I'm not going to be that guy that's going to predict that the outcomes of those.
What's up, brother?
Good job.
But the reality is, Thunder Ridge is still in the driver's seat to take that second seed we're talking about in the pregame and having that first round home game.
Yeah, Thunder Ridge really needed to win one of 2 games this week to be the 2 seed. But if they lose both games, they're likely in a 3-way tie for second place with 2 other teams. And so it's going to be a battle, and obviously Thunder Ridge cannot come out and play this way on Friday night, or it's going to be a 3-way tie for second.
Now, Burge, you've played plenty of games. You coached plenty of games up at Rigby. Not an easy place to play. It's not going to be a gimme. It's going to be Rigby senior night. Talk about the emotions of that game. Being the visitors coming in on the road in a game that really quite frankly, you got to win.
Yeah, you know, I think there's a lot of distractions for Rigby with senior night, and Coach Tolson, I guarantee, is going to use this as a motivation factor. We played bad tonight. I know Coach Tolson's going to tell the boys use this as motivation, and I expect us that we're going to kind of punch them in the mouth early. Rigby's going to be, you know, recognizing their seniors, which is great, but I think it'll be a great opportunity for us. They're going to have a big crowd. They're going to be excited, fired up, but this will be a perfect opportunity for us to kind of get back into our rhythm, and I have all the confidence in the world. With good basketball teams like our team, they rarely have back-to-back bad games. So I have confidence, and it will be a little hostile. Rigby, one-horse town. I mean, they're going to bring it, but we'll right the ship.
Well, and I think you look at this game tonight, I couldn't imagine Thunder Ridge playing any worse than they did tonight, ever. And so, and to think that you ended the game losing by 10, but you held the other team to 35, and you're going to start to tally up some positives that come from tonight. The result is painful and bad, and you're going to be frustrated, and it's going to leave a bad taste in your mouth. But then from the ashes, you rebuild and you refigure things, and you just focus on the positives and the things that you did well.
Well, we've talked about how we feel about this, Coach. I mean, if you were Coach Tolson, you're in the locker room right now. What's the message? I mean, you just came off a pretty tough loss. You put your back against the wall, so to speak. But there's got to be a leader in the room. It always follows the head coach.
You know, I think the first thing is don't panic. I mean, we're late in the basketball season. This is the time you want to be playing your best basketball, but you can't just totally change your identity. We know that this is a good team. We know we had a cold night. Coach Tolson's got to reassure him. He can give him some tough loving, but he needs to reassure him that, hey, we know who we are. We know our identity. We're going to get back to the basics tomorrow for a Thursday practice. We're going to get healed up, and then Friday, we're going to be the Thunder Ridge Titans that we know we can be. So not too much negative, you know. Take it on the chin, but you know what? It's dead and gone. Let's look forward.
You don't need to tell the kids the negative. They know.
Yes.
They just lived through it. And I agree with you 100%, Coach. The worst thing you can do is focus on all the bad things that happened, because every kid just experienced it. Every kid knows all those things right now. And so why bring it up again? You kind of just wash and you say, I don't even know that you watch film of this game. I don't know what value you get by watching 4 free throws in the first half. You know, and so you just, like you said, you come out and do your pregame workout, practice tomorrow, regroup.
You almost watch your good clips. I mean,
Yeah.
I would throw on a game where you scored 75-80 and look at the ball movement and running around, and I think that would be, I mean, Coach Tolson, I trust him with everything, but that might be a good strategy. Hey, let's show these kids what you're capable of. This isn't who we are.
Well, tell you what, you touched on something. I like your idea of let's just focus on the positive things. Let's talk about that. What is positive from tonight?
A lot of free throws. We were getting to the rim.
You hold a team to 35 points.
Play good defense. Yeah, got a lot of free throws. You know, I think those are things that you can build off of. Shots weren't falling, but if you can live at the free throw line, I thought offensive rebounds were strong too.
Yeah.
I don't know off the top of my head, but it seemed like we were getting a lot of offensive boards, just weren't finishing those putbacks.
So Boss, what about you? You got to see some positives, and I got a couple myself.
Well, the big positive, I focus on the defensive end, and I feel like as Coach Tolson does that, that's what you hang your hat on for tonight. And like Coach Berger's talking about, you go back and watch Rigby film. Rigby, last time we played Rigby, it was a great turnout and a great game, and we looked great against Rigby. And so we had a lot of fun in that game, and I think that's what you focus on and what we did well in that game. And kids came in, played well. I think there are a lot of kids who had some good experience in tonight, you know, and you just wash your hands of the result.
Well, that was, you kind of led into mine. I told you I had a couple that I was drawing positives on. I liked the depth of our bench. It came out and showed. I think our bench showed out. I liked our tenacity. I liked our grit. I had a lot of fun watching our guys go in and battle and fight for the little things. It was good to watch us. We talked last week watching the Highland girls game. We were throwing a lot of love towards Highland's coaching staff's way in terms of there's just no stopping of coaching. I didn't see any stopping coaching. I watched our boys at the bench. We're sitting right next to it. Saw positivity from the bench. It was real easy for any number of people from on the bench, on the floor, or behind us to get real negative. I didn't hear it tonight. So I think we're all seeing what coach is seeing, and that this wasn't us. I mean, this is pretty uncharacteristic. You're right. I don't know that I've seen this particular team play like this. Super uncharacteristic, and gives us a chance that we can just kind of wash our hands up and be done and move on to the next.
The one thing if I'm being a little critical, I'm a little worried because our Madison game end of last week was not a great showing from the Titans boys. So just, coming out a little flat tonight worries me a little bit. But I agree with Coach Berger. You're going to rely on Coach Tolson to right the ship, the whole staff, to rally up and to get things turned in the right direction.
So let's talk about the potentials on district seeding, how districts work for those that weren't tuned into our girls game. Regular season, while every game is important, we know that, especially in a max preps world. We can make that a talking point for a district game. We get a district game here next week, hopefully. But the reality is all regular season games really just are jockeying position for districts. Yep. You really want that top 2 seeds to be hosting the first round, but ultimately the best team's going to go. We take a seed and a half to state, and it's really about how that conference tournament plays out. So, Coach, tell us how you look at the regular season, your highs and the lows, and the long-term work of 21 games over the course of the season, and how do you turn that and parlay that into success when it actually matters when the games count and you go home if you don't win?
Oh, man, this is the time you just hope that you're peaking. And, I worry that the boys are kind of struggling with their confidence, that they think that they've already peaked. And this is something that is mental toughness. We got to just go back to the drawing board. It's a tough conference. I mean, besides Madison at the top, and they are a phenomenal team. I want to say they're second in the media polls. It's going to be a dogfight. And even if we lose a district game to Madison or Rigby, we're going to have opportunities to redeem ourselves. And we just got to have a short memory. And, this time of year, anyone can get hot. That's why people love March Madness, because the underdogs can get hot at the right time and they can make a run. And that's where Coach Tolson and the boys, even if things look so dire right now, just stick to who we are. And, don't waste your opportunities. Don't make the most of every opportunity. We have a deep team, 10 guys. When you're out on the floor, make the most of that opportunity.
I think that's a great point, Coach, is you came into this week, you really needed to win one of the 2 games this week to wrap up the 2 seed, and you're in the same boat right now. You just need to win 1 game this week to wrap up the 2 seed. You've got a great opportunity to do that against Rigby on Friday night. Sure, it would have been nice to compete and play well tonight and get the win tonight and maybe be the 2 seed and wrap it up, but we are where we are, and so it's time to go.
So some updates. We were operating on some pretty safe assumptions that Madison's going to take down Rigby tonight. We can now confirm they did. 67-35. Madison win call moves them to 5-0. They will play Highland to round out the season while we play Rigby. Madison has locked up that number 1 seed. They'll host the 4 seed, and 2, 3, and 4 just remain to be seen. Now Rigby moves to 1 and 4 on the season. They
in conference.
In conference, correct. So looks like Rigby will, if Thunder Ridge can pull out the win on Thursday, Rigby would be the 4 seed. Madison locks up the 1, and it really depends on Highland Madison turnout. Now, were Highland to upset Madison, it would cause two-way tie for 2 and 3 with Highland, and it's going to go down to some pretty complicated tiebreakers. Really, and I can tell you, it's going to go down to max preps. And right now, Thunder Ridge is ranked substantially higher than Highland right now, so that will help. But things change. This game will impact that.
This will impact it. Yep.
We'll work the seedings based on Saturday's update, and things could change, but there's a decent likelihood that the seedings are not quite set, but they're pretty close.
It's interesting. Sorry, Doug. The 2, 3, and 4, the home court advantage hasn't really factored in. We went and beat Highland. Highland beat us. Rigby beat Highland at Highland. Highland beat Rigby at Rigby. Like, home court has not been helping these teams, so it's going to be a dogfight.
And the same goes with us. We beat Highland down there, and they beat the Titans up here, and so it just comes down to that game. It's going to be an interesting. If we happen to lose on Friday night, Rigby ties us up in the record, it's going to be interesting to see how the tiebreakers all play out. But the nice thing for the Titans is their future and their seeding is just right in front of them. They go out and they win, and they control what happens in district tournament.
Always more comfortable for a coach to have some control of their own destiny. I would say that favors the Titans a little more than the Rams at this point. It's not Highland Rams right now are playing pretty tough basketball. I think the showcase to what they did tonight, they're peaking at the right time. I wouldn't have expected any less from Coach Stuckey. I'll be honest with you, all the years I coached against Highland, they're known for playing well at the right times. You could probably speak to that better than I could, Coach.
Yeah, no, I was lucky to coach, and Highland's got tough kids. They mentally have been through it, and they're willing to peak at the right time, but they do it on defense, and that's why I was probably most impressed. We missed shots, but Highland, they took pride in their defense tonight, and that's something that we're going to have to do if we want to make a deep run.
I think that shows with the scoreboard of a pretty low-scoring affair on both sides of the scoreboard. Neither team really put the ball in the hole too much, but both teams are certainly capable of doing it. Both teams are capable of playing great defense. Again, it's Madison's conference to give up, but I wouldn't sleep on anybody in our conference at this point. I mean, it's a pretty tough conference to go through. Prepares teams for state in a better way than having a large conference that isn't quite as good. So I like the way the High Country Conference combined districts 5 and 6 is playing right now late in the year. Should be a pretty exciting finish to the end of the season.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to Friday night. Hopefully get up and to Rigby and support the Titans and pull out the win.
So a couple things before we sign off. Thanks to Coach Berger for joining us. We want to thank a couple of our sponsors that have jumped in on this broadcast, specifically thank you to Valley Office Systems and Murdoch Manwaring Real Estate Corporation. Appreciate your support and ongoing care for the Thunder Ridge Titans boys basketball program. It was a great night. Just for the Thunder Ridge community, Burge, you missed it. We were tooting the boss's horn a little bit earlier. We talked about attitude reflects leadership.
Let him finish, Coach. Let him finish.
We talked about attitude reflecting leadership. Pretty cool night to see a couple thousand people come out and support the Chris Paz family. I would like to know at some point I would imagine it's a pretty significant financial contribution to be to that family and help out the funeral expenses and costs of very unexpected costs. What a neat environment, what a fun time. Sorry the game didn't end the way we'd like it, but still quite a few silver linings going into a couple critical games, single critical game of the year and moving right into district. So,
and if all goes well, we'll host a playoff game, and I hope we can jump on and broadcast again and have you join us for that game as well.
Well, we made the same promise we made last week for the girls. We are willing to do this again unless there's significant objections. I only had one email that poked fun quite a bit, and it really wasn't necessarily our fault as much as it was technology's fault. It's the lagging of the system. We apologize for some of that lag in the camera. Technology is still young and new, and it's growing underneath our feet. And as we get better at this, the technology's better. We want this to become a student-driven operation at some point with the broadcasting program. But we are excited about the future, both right here at the table, those sitting at the table, and moving forward with our Thunder Ridge High School community. A bit of pretty fun night.
Yeah, no, thank you for the opportunity, you two. My grandpa was a broadcaster for the Chuckers for years in East Idaho. So when Travis said, hey, do you want to come on and get interviewed, I jumped at the opportunity. So I appreciate you guys. This is really fun. I can't wait till our students start kind of taking the lead with this.
Well, on behalf of our football coach, Coach Berger, Coach Tolson, and the boys, Travis Hobson, Thunder's athletic director.
Doug McLaren, principal at Thunder Ridge High School.
I think we'll go ahead and sign off at this point. So you can always tune in live YouTube at TR Titans Athletics. We would like to expand that into some other ventures, but right now that's our home for our video broadcasting. So you're welcome to join us anytime. This is on live and on demand. You store this back. I did go listen to us. We weren't too bad. We're rookies.
Yeah, we're rookies.
We're rookies.
Yeah, we kind of take the approach of not really play-by-play, not really color, just kind of
Have fun.
have fun. Yeah.
All right, smile and have fun. I think our kids deserve this kind of recognition. Great senior night. Send our seniors,
Yes.
our boys basketball players, seniors, Hudson Harker, Mason Hackbar,
And Will
Godfrey off into the next step of their lives. Our managers, our band, our pet band. We love our pet band.
Fun night.
It is a fun night. Chris Paws benefit night again. One more time, say thanks to all of our listeners and all of our viewers. It's been a pleasure.
Yep. Have a great night.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Love and hugs. What is it?
Hugs and pictures.
Hugs and pictures. Hugs and pictures, everybody.
Beautiful.
Have a good night.